Security experts recommend keeping your shopping bags in the trunk of your car. And when you go home, pulling into your driveway, making sure your house is safe, and then coming back out for the shopping bags and taking them inside. Reporting from Commerce, Anusha Rasta, NBC4 News.
And we have breaking news right now in Compton, where the LA County Sheriff's Department is in pursuit of a reckless driving suspect, and it looks like a truck. Gabe Santos overhead at News Chopper 4. Gabe, you were just behind them.
Right, exactly, Kathy. This is a white box truck, as you can tell, driving northbound on Wilmington, coming up on El Segundo, and you can see a lot of units from LA County Sheriff's Department pulling up right behind the suspect here. The weird thing about this pursuit so far is that this suspect has been obeying traffic lights, but excuse us as we work to get a better shot for you here. So this suspect has been obeying traffic lights, but the suspect will make swerves to the left and to the right that are just very frightening. Anytime you have a pursuit that is a larger vehicle like this, you have the considerations to be made regarding spike strips, regarding pit maneuvers. You obviously cannot do a pit maneuver with a vehicle like this. And then you have the question of why this suspect would be running and why the suspect is in this kind of vehicle. Does this driver work for this company? Anything along those lines. Those are questions that we are working to find out right as we follow this pursuit continuing northbound on Wilmington, passing 120th Street, now in the Willowbrook area. LA County Sheriffs, once again Compton Sheriffs, continuing very close behind this suspect. My pilot Fulvio navigating these buildings, trying to get the best shot we can here of this box truck, again coming up on a light. And as we've mentioned before, the suspect appears to be obeying red lights, which is something that we appreciate. We don't usually see this in these types of pursuits. And now he just, as I was just saying that, he just ran that red light, went into the left turn lane, and is now continuing northbound Wilmington Avenue in Willowbrook.
And the speeds right now, we're looking right now at your miles per hour, looks like about 40 miles per hour. So nothing unusual, not that it could go that much faster, but nothing unusual as far as speeds go. But you were saying so far obeying all of the traffic signals, but all of a sudden they're not and going past that stop. Have we seen any other close calls so far? I mean, this is a reckless driving suspect.
Well, that was probably the closest call that we've seen so far since we've been over this pursuit for about the past 5 minutes. You saw the driver swerve into the left turn lane, come really close to other vehicles, and then proceed to run the red light. So this driver is kind of picking and choosing when he wants to be reckless and when he or she wants to follow the rules of the road. Now we have some slow traffic there, a truck towing a boat, the driver easing into the wrong way and then getting back into the right way of traffic here, with all these units from Carson Sheriffs continuing in pursuit, kind of going in a straight line. When we first heard this pursuit, we heard him northbound on Wilmington. We're still northbound on Wilmington. If we go much further, we're going to get pretty close to that structure fire we were covering earlier in this broadcast, but we're going to continue now in the Watts area now, still northbound on Wilmington. Another thing to notice, whoa, we got someone trying to make a right turn onto Wilmington right there, and the driver of the box truck has to make a little bit of a quick maneuver, which is very dangerous to do in a box truck. These things don't handle well, and again, as we've been mentioning, you can't do a pit maneuver on these. I haven't seen a pit maneuver done on one of these, and it is very dangerous to use spike strips for situations like this. We're coming up on another intersection now, 103rd and Wilmington. The driver kind of easing into the right lane there. It's a red light, and we're coming to a stop again. LA
Gabe,
County
someone
Sheriff.
in the studio was mentioning it looks like there are no lights on this truck. Is that what it appears like to you?
Right, yes, Kathy, thank you for pointing that out. The lights are indeed off on the truck, headlights completely off, so that brings another level of interest and difficulty to this pursuit, because the driver actually will have limited visibility at that point, and that kind of brings into question what the driver's mental state might be, just to be continuing to drive in a box truck with the lights completely off at this late hour. And looks like he was thinking about making a right turn there, now making a U-turn. And LA County Sheriff keeping close behind there. Those things don't have that large of a turning radius, but he appears to be able to pull off that U-turn. And now we're going southbound on Wilmington, still in the Watts area.
Yeah, you have to wonder what's going on here now. Again, reckless driving. We don't have any reports at this time of this being a stolen vehicle, but you counted. We have numerous patrol cars behind this driver. Have you heard if there is more than one person in the vehicle?
We heard LA County Sheriff say that they only see one occupant so far. So as far as why they have this many units behind this vehicle, and you can see units that were just trying to catch up to this pursuit that were going northbound.
Look at that. People are in the street.
Right, yeah, look at that. Look at that, trying to run along with the pursuit there.
Oh,
very
so
dangerous behavior there. And now we're going southbound. Driver picking up speed a little bit, being a little bit more aggressive. We're going to try and get a little bit closer here to get the trees out of the shot there. We're shooting... Oh, okay. So my pilot just explained to me, which now that I'm kind of realizing where we are, this box truck is now just a little bit into LAX airspace. So we're kind of keeping this offset shot, and hopefully the driver doesn't continue to go further into that LAX airspace, so we can keep a good shot for you guys as the driver kind of picks up speed a little bit, going through phases of speeding up, slowing down, and then those quick swerves to the left and to the right, which you usually don't see from a box truck such as this, because it's very easy for a driver to lose control.
Yeah, it's so unstable. But what's interesting is the driver has stayed on Wilmington this whole time, just making that U-turn, but still staying on the same street, now making another turn.
Right, making a quick left turn going eastbound on 114th Street, and these are dark, narrow streets, very dangerous. You have the night sun from, I believe it's LA County Sheriff's, lighting up the path, kind of being the only source of light. I'm not sure if that was a speed bump there that he went over, or if that's just a mark on the road there. And there's the night sun again.
And it's a residential area in some places. It just makes you so frightened because it's Thanksgiving. People are, might be out, might be leaving family dinners.
Right, and you can see people are definitely out there. It is a holiday today, so you have a lot of people at home. This is a residential area. As you said, we're at Gorman and 114th Street, so a very dangerous situation.
Tight.
You have people parked in the street here, family gatherings. People are packing up leftovers of turkey and mashed potatoes, and you have a speeding box truck coming through the neighborhood. A very dangerous situation.
Now
still
a car
in the
front.
Watts area.
He has a car in front of him. Yeah, tight squeeze.
Yeah, there was a car in front there. The driver of the box truck had to slow down, and now he just appears to be kind of navigating through these residential areas of Watts. When we see this kind of behavior in pursuits like this, you have to wonder, is the driver familiar with the area, or did he just kind of end up here? As I zoom in, I think I see a little bit of a light on in the cabin of the truck, but maybe that's just a reflection of the black and whites behind him. Now coming to a stop in the middle of an intersection. I'm going to widen out and see what's in front there.
Almost
I
like
think that's,
trying to decide what to do, or maybe they are stopping now or backing up.
Well, Kathy, there's also a truck there to the right. I'm not sure if that truck was just in the intersection. And now we have the driver backing up the box truck with LA County Sheriff's right behind this driver right now. And now he's going in the northbound direction, and there's oncoming traffic. These narrow streets, it's going to be impossible for this driver to navigate with other vehicles on the roads there. Now we have kind of a pseudo standoff between this white sedan and this white box truck now, with this box truck driver unsure what to do. He already reversed and turned one way, and now he's kind of stuck here. He's lunging forward a little bit, almost as if to scare this other driver who probably has no idea what he or she just drove up on. He
They
doesn't
are
know there's a
confused
pursuit.
what to do. Yeah, they can't put all this together, but we'll see the flashing lights and then have to figure out, what are we doing here? Do we need to back up? And that's what that person is doing slowly, and the driver becoming more aggressive, right?
Right. That appears to be the strategy that the box truck driver is doing here, just to continue lunging forward, scaring the driver of the white sedan to continue backing up. And that's just a completely scary situation to be in. I'm sure that this driver of the white sedan is realizing that something is up, because now you have all these black and whites with flashing lights and sirens as the box truck driver continues to lunge and slam on the brakes. This is a very scary situation here.
I'm wondering why that driver doesn't just get out of the area quickly. But it looks like they're going to back it up now and let him out.
Wow! And now we let him out. Now the driver's on his way, and there's a sheriff's deputy right there, there. You have this deputy trying to get stop sticks out, so we know that deputies are working on at least getting stop sticks in the area. Yeah.
He bumped it. Yeah, that is not good. So now he or she has bumped that patrol car, that sheriff's patrol car, and now that is going to make them very unhappy. So they are still in pursuit. And Gabe, I've never seen so many patrol vehicles after one driver. We have a huge line.
Yeah, we do. We have a large number of LA County Sheriff's deputies continuing in this pursuit. You see deputies coming southbound on Wilmington. You see them coming from the neighborhood that we were just in. And these main 4 deputies continuing very close behind this driver. And now they have even more of a reason to stay in very close proximity to the driver here, because he came very close to that would be considered assault with a deadly weapon. If you use a car to lunge towards individuals, whether or not as members of the public or their fellow deputies here. So this really amplifies the situation here. And while we have kind of a shot of the cab of this box truck here, I'm going to try and zoom in and get a better look of what we're dealing with here. It looks like there's some kind of board on the dash, but you can see the driver's hands on the steering wheel, and you can very clearly see that the headlights are off, which again really amplifies the level of danger that we're dealing with here, because even though some of these streets are well lit, some of them are not. As we continue going southbound on Alameda, at least we're going in the driver at least staying in the proper lanes, but you see all those deputies from LA County Sheriffs continuing to stay really close behind this white box truck.
Yeah, and Gabe, you mentioned they can't use a pit maneuver in this case, even though the speeds are relatively slow, and you can't use a spike strip.
Yeah, pit maneuver is definitely out of the question. A spike strip is possible if the driver stays at a certain speed. You saw that deputy that this that black and white that this driver came really close to. That deputy I saw was holding stop sticks or
okay.
Right. So when the box truck is going at slightly slower speeds, maybe in those residential areas where we thought the driver was a little bit more familiar with, and maybe the driver would stay there, that's when the possibility of using those other methods to bring to hopefully bring this pursuit to an end, those become a little bit more likely. But now that we're on this main road again, Alameda and Rosecrans now, under the bridge of the freeway here, this is another interesting situation, because now we're coming to a complete stop, and now we're on the move again. We're continuing southbound on Alameda through Compton.
All right, so we just want to remind our viewers that this is something that's been going on for about an hour now. Sheriff's deputies, LA County, Compton, in pursuit of the driver of this box truck. They believe at this point only one person in the truck, and they were trying to pull the driver over for reckless driving. And we have seen many situations where that is the case, although in certain cases, like right now, Gabe, the driver is obeying traffic laws.
Right. This driver kind of picks and chooses what laws he or she wants to follow and what laws this driver doesn't want to follow. The driver kind of staying on the smart side, however smart you can be when you're in a police pursuit. But by that, I mean the driver is coming to complete stops. And you can see there a deputy running out with spike strips, but choosing not to deploy them, possibly because of the speed, and maybe the box truck was coming up a little bit faster than they thought. So we know that that is an option that they are working on and considering to hopefully, slow down this vehicle and bring this pursuit to an end. And that's probably the only option that they have, as we see a little bit of swerving back and forth from the box truck. But that's probably the only option that they have because, as we've been saying, for obvious reasons, a pit maneuver is going to be out of the question here.
Yeah, a pit maneuver would just be too dangerous, and you have to worry about the other people who are out on the roads. And this driver has also been in residential areas, so it just makes for a pretty dangerous situation to try to bring it to an end that way.
Right. We've been toggling kind of residential areas through Watts, through Compton, kind of going up and down this Alameda corridor. So you have to wonder, is the driver kind of familiar with this general area? Does the driver live in the area? Those are questions that we often wonder when we see this kind of behavior, when the driver kind of stays in a particular area and doesn't insist on getting on a freeway at the nearest opportunity.
All right.
We've seen this pursuit.
Gabe, we're going to have to go. Thank you so much. We're going to keep an eye on this. We'll have a full wrap up on the news at 11. See you then.
You said forever, now I drive alone past your street.
Olivia Rodrigo earned her driver's license. Adele went easy on me while Lil Nas X went wild. We look back on one memorable year in music. Then,
and I'm like, I don't know if I can handle this.
we're in the Bahamas with candid revelations from country sensation Carly Pearce.
Frankly, I was a weirdo. I was a freak.
Ron and Clint Howard on growing up in Hollywood and the VIP tour only Access can offer.
Right over here is where we shot Apollo 13.
Oh, wow. And footage not seen in over 50 years, the long and winding road to the Beatles get back.
1, 2, 3, 4.
From Universal Studios Hollywood, welcome to Access Hollywood. I'm Mario Lopez, and 2021 was a huge year in music, from Adele to Lil Nas